At the very end, I had my phone plugged in, and then the Bluetooth went off, and so the last part of the video was muted. I'm sorry, I didn't know until afterwards. So now I'm outside of the place where I'm doing my exercise class, and it turns out I'm earlier than I thought I was, so I have a little bit more time. So I'm gonna reshoot this and try to give you guys a full, non-muted version of what I was saying before. So here's the deal. First of all, hi, it's been a long time. Let me go to another spot because I think the sun is behind me. Maybe it'll be better down here. I haven't done a YouTube video in a long time because I've been living my life, and this is, it happens. Had a lot of things happening, managing family stuff, just doing my own life, trying to get, figured out, work stuff, trying to make money, all the things that I think most of us have been focused on. So, there we go. Some natural light is good. So I took some time off, I didn't want, hi. I left the DR in 2021, the end of 2021. It's been a long time. But I do miss it. I still keep in touch with people down there. Got friends there, many of whom are like, when are you coming back? I have someone I know down there is storing some things for me. Another family has one of my beautiful paintings on their wall they're holding. So I got to get back. I got to get back to the DR. It's going to happen. Hi, everybody. Darlene, hi. Yeah, so the job market, as we all know, is like the job security at this point is like an oxymoron. Whereas, you used to be able to get a job, especially government jobs, right? Those were considered solid and very long-term, and you get in and you can stay in forever pretty much. I had a federal government job when I first came out of law school for a few years, but I was 30. And I was like, this is boring, and I don't want to do this forever and all that. And it was a good training ground for me as a lawyer, but it's not what I wanted to do forever. I remember knowing a woman there that I worked with. I was like, how long have you been here? And she said 30-something years. And I was like, oh my God, how could you do that? It felt incomprehensible for me at the time. Well, federal jobs, as we know now, are no longer kind of guaranteed. It's no longer the safe bet, but neither is tech, or in some cases healthcare, education. I got laid off from my very kind of prestigious job at Berkeley Law School on faculty back in 2024. They closed the clinic where I and some other people were working, so we all had to figure it out. And I shared this before. When I was in the DR, people would say, oh, well, you're a lawyer, and so it's easier for you to create work or to make money or whatever. And I'm here to tell you that I am affected by the loss of employment and financial challenges as much as anybody else is. And so I've had to figure it out. So I started a business several months ago, maybe springtime this year, I don't know, just trying to create my own thing because I was applying for jobs, and there's so much competition now. I was actually in DC when that whole federal shutdown thing started to happen. Not shutdown, but the layoffs, right, started to happen. And there's so many lawyers in DC that it was just incredibly difficult. And, and I've got some strong credentials in the whole bit. But anyway, the point is everybody's having to figure this out. And so I've been doing that. So that's part of why I haven't been on here, because I felt like, what am I going to talk about, right? And also, did I say this already? I said it on the last video. By the way, I did this video a couple of minutes ago from my car and realized at the tail end that it was muted. The Bluetooth went off in my car, whatever, sorry. So I'm shooting it again. I'm here about to go into an exercise class, but I'm early, earlier than I thought. So I'm like, well, let me just shoot the video again. So that's what's happening now. But anyway, so the job situation, I think a lot of us are having to just figure it out. So entrepreneurship is booming now, not so much because people, I think, are just so into it, but because it's come out of necessity, right? So whether you have skills in, you could be a creative person, whether it's arranging flowers or a filmmaker. That's my niche, the filmmaker community, arts type people, TV, that kind of thing. Whether it's that, or whether you're more of you work with your hands, you're doing mechanical stuff, whether you're, plumbing or car repair, what have you, those are skills that you can take and figure out what else to do with them. And it's not necessarily just the stuff with your hands, or if you're a tech person, you can use that in some other way. And if you don't know how, I would say use AI. Let me tell you something. Everybody is using AI. I had a contract with a company some months ago, and as a lawyer, right? And they had their own in-house AI that they were using like to draft legal clauses and stuff. And I'm not talking about LegalZoom. Like people are like, well, why would I pay a lawyer when I can go to LegalZoom? Because LegalZoom is generic and it's not going to cover all your bases. That's just a short story. But my point about using AI is if you think, well, I don't know what I could do. I don't know how I could, I've been a kindergarten teacher for 20 years or whatever. What's that going to do? Put your resume in AI, upload it, right, to whichever, if you like ChatGPT or whichever version of AI you like, and tell it, I really would like, my dream would be XYZ, or maybe you see a job that you love, but you don't know how you would qualify for it. Copy and paste the job description and put that in AI too, and let it do the work. Then it's amazing. It'll tell you, oh, you could do this, 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 and then you can say, okay, write me a resume, and it'll do it. So there are many, many things you can do, and it's not like a cheat. Well, it's how you use AI is the thing, right? So I mentioned like with this, it wasn't a firm, but a company, a tech company that I was doing some legal work for. But we'd certainly have to check, right, what the AI would do. Like if I used it to write a clause or to review a document, I'm not going to rely solely on that, and neither should you. So you've got, if you're relying on facts and AI to send to a client, let's say you got to fact check, you got to make sure. Like I, as a lawyer, am never going to submit something to a client where I'm like, oh, well, the law says this and the law says that, or here's how you do it. I was at the law library the other day and making sure. But my point is that you can use this really powerful tool to your advantage. Don't feel stuck, like I don't know what to do. There's lots and lots of stuff out there. Everybody is creating their own path right now because we have to. Okay, so that's all I'll say about that. Also, what I wanted to tell you is like what I've been doing. So I said, I had to just drop back and figure out my own life, and I got a kid in high school, trying to get him through, making sure he's on track, and that's all going really well. But I've also been contemplating what I love, which is beside the creative work, which I really do enjoy, and starting my own company and building that business. And I've had some really wonderful clients. It's been a pleasure to work with various people and to support their businesses as they grow their creative enterprise. But my heart really does still lie in expat life. And like someone said, you're not in the DR anymore. I'm like, no, I haven't been, but I think about it all the time, whether it's there or someplace else. And I was offered the opportunity a couple of times this year to travel out of the continental US and speak, at a couple of professional conferences or engagements. And it was fantastic. And it made me think, like, you know what? I'm ready to do this again. I'm ready to live outside of the US. So one of the things I've been doing, well, two. One is I applied for an award, a very prestigious award. I won't know probably for months whether I am successful, whether I receive the award, but if I am, it would take me out of the country again. And in this case, it would be to a country in Africa. So I'm super excited about that. Hopeful, fingers crossed, you guys, fingers crossed. But yeah, I won't probably know till at the earliest February, maybe more like March, April. I don't know. It's in the review process. It's a very long review process. It's a very competitive and very prestigious award. So hopefully, but I think I submitted a great package, I must say. Great project, right in line with what I like to do, what I'm good at. I've got all the, the bells and whistles to go along with it to support what I'm saying I can do. And then after I had the experience, as I said, speaking at some of these engagements, I was like, wait a minute. I like where I am. I like this region, and I could see myself living here. So rather than sit around and hope, fingers crossed that I get this award, I'm like, what can I do? You got to be proactive. So I reached out to some institutions in the area that I am interested in and submitted to them like essentially like a mini proposal. Here's what I think I could do for you. Here's what I think it could help. Let me tell you something. They both wrote back to me within one within 24 hours and another within 2 days saying, it's gonna be an interesting partnership opportunity. Exactly. So I'm sharing this with you, one as an update on what I've been doing, but also to let you know, thank you for the hearts. I don't know who's hearting me, but I love it. Thank you so much. This is what you have to do now. Let me say this. This is what I find that works. So I was also sitting at home and looking at LinkedIn and applying for jobs and different job boards and resources. And I have recruiters that contact me from time to time and ask about things. And I do that. I apply for those too. It's so competitive right now because not everybody, but a lot of people have been laid off and they're out of work and they're having to figure it out. So I was like, what can I do proactively to move myself forward in the way that I want. So maybe I don't have to take a job I don't really like. I can create my own lane, which is exactly what I'm doing. Hi, yes, we're good. The family is good. We suffered a pretty significant death, not pretty, a very significant death. My dad, my stepdad of 46 years, passed away in August. That was a blow. I was here helping, doing caregiving for months before that. And then, since then, just a lot of stuff going on. So I wasn't I wasn't about to do videos at that time. Major moves cross country, just a lot of heavy lifting emotionally, financially, a lot of stuff was happening. But that's we're kind of not through all of it, but in the midst of it, I needed to just refocus, recalibrate. I'm like, okay, what can I do? Rather than feel bad or be stuck in a place. I'm not one who's going to stay in a place like that for long. So I'm like, all right, what can I do? So that's what I'm telling you. I was like, let me reach out, again, use AI. Okay, what are the locations? If I want to do this kind of work, where might I contact somebody? What's the contact information? Okay, what's a good pitch? I relied heavily on AI to help me locate the places, figure out what I want to say. Of course, I'd give it the information that I wanted, what I want to do. Thank you, Darlene. I provide the content because I can't just make it up out of thin air. So I'm providing the content. I'm providing the context. And I just use it to help me kind of polish sometimes, or maybe give me another perspective, right? Here's what I'm used to doing. What is another opportunity that I could present, or another way that I could focus on it, let's say. So, like I said, I got feedback immediately, and I'm super excited about this. I'm very, very excited. I will take you guys along. So here's the other part of this video, and I gotta go because you see people are leaving from the class, so it's my turn next. I've been looking at YouTube also. I look at videos for the place where I want to go, other people who are there, who've lived there, older people, right, like me. I'm not older. I'm the youthful older, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not 20-year-olds. I can look at their videos too, but I'm more interested in people who are at a different stage of their life, like how are they managing, right? And kind of seeing what's up. It's very inspirational. I did this before from the DR. I didn't know what I was doing when I started in terms of YouTube, but I figured it out. And I have 100% faith in me. I have 100% faith in God. I'm putting my intentions out there. I'm grateful. All the things, all the ingredients I think that can make this go. And I'm telling you, you guys can do it too. If you find yourself in a position, and who is it, Darlene? Somebody, you're being jobless. You can work out your own thing. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not like poof, next day you're making, all this money, but you can create your own economy, so to speak, your own independence, your own lane, all of that. I'm doing it. I made my own website. I didn't know how to make a damn website, and it's still not perfect, but it's pretty good. I've got digital products on there relating to the work that I do, what I specialize in. I have some more to do, but this is the kind of stuff I've been working on. And there were hours I spent putting together PowerPoints and, a lot. But when it all comes together, it's going to allow me to do the work that I love on my terms. I'm not working for anybody else. I may engage with another university or whatever, a corporate partnership, let's say. So there's obviously accountability, but it's not like punching a clock every day, which honestly, those days are kind of gone anyway for most of us. It's just changed, okay? So that's what I've been up to. My intention is to begin to do more of these videos and kind of take you guys along the journey with me as I move, steps ahead, keep you posted on updates if I get some from this award or feedback from these other places and kind of what's happening. And so that's my intention. Don't hold me to it. If I don't come every day, I'm not gonna come every day, but if I don't post on a super regular basis, I got to warm myself back up again. But I appreciate those of you who've stuck with me for all this time. You know me from the DR. You've seen a lot of what's happened. In some cases, you've watched my son grow up online. And my son, by the way, will be 16 in about a week. He's 6 feet 1 inch tall now. It's incredible. Great kid, doing really well. So thank you for hanging in there and for continuing the journey. Okay, I got to go to my class. I got 2 minutes to go stretch and bend and work it out. Mwah. Love you guys.